So Scott, you've just signed a scholarship to join the under-18s as a Northampton lad and a fan. That must be a dream come true.
Yeah, it is. I've had a season ticket for a few years now, so it's good to finally be part of the club. And it's always a dream, really, to play for your local team.
And you scored a couple of goals already this season, a decent run in the team. For fans that might not know much about you, what kind of player are you?
Mainly play in the centre, sort of as an attacking mid, or just as a centre mid. So I like to get stuck in, really, win some tackles, some headers, and also got a bit of attacking to my game as well.
You'll be continuing your education here with the Football and Education programme. How important is that side of it along with the football?
It's very important as it gives you lots of pathways in life because if football doesn't work out, then you've got other areas to branch out into. So it's really important for young lads.
And now the deal is all signed and sealed. What are your hopes for the season?
We've had a good start to the season so far, so maybe winning the league would be good.
And you've worked with John Brady now since the start of the season. What kind of influence has he had on you as a player and as a person?
Well, he's helped out a lot, giving me good advice and helping me out in games and training. So yeah, he's a good coach to have.
So Shane, talk us through Scott's progression. How has he developed?
His journey, to be fair, has been rapid. Obviously, he was in the shadow squad as an under-16 and came in on trial with the academy towards the tail end of the season before last. So I think since we've had him in full time and his stuff with hashtag, I think he's just flown, and it's brilliant to see really from us. But he's been a fantastic kid to work with, and I mean in terms of his development, it's all down to him really. He's got a fantastic work ethic and attitude towards developing, and just wants to improve. And I think really that's why the credit's got to go to him for what's happening and how his progression has been. But he's one of the students, like a lot that we've got here, he wants to improve every single day. So that's all we can ask from him really. And that for Scott has obviously seen him go on to the youth team, bigger opportunities.
Even though he's now a full-time scholar, he'll still continue his education here with the Football and Education programme. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so as with all the scholars, it's vital that they have a backup around the education side, and it forms a massive part of what they do at their club and the apprenticeship side of things. So for Scott's an outstanding student. His grades are up there, so vital that he continues that and has that backup, because the issue obviously with football is there's no guarantees. So it's crucial really that he still invests in that. And like the scholars, I mean the scholars are up here today, so they do the same BTEC programme as what the football and education students do. So crucial to all young people to have that in the background and or as the forefront to being successful in the future.
And it's also a fantastic example of the player pathway, seeing a player from the education programme and the academy shadow squad coming through to be a full-time scholar.
Yeah, huge. I think what it shows is that us as an academy, and I look back on how long I've been involved in the academy, the quality of player that we've got now working right the way from development centres all the way up to the academy is huge, and there's a much bigger depth of talent out there, which is brilliant for the club. We're seeing that with a number of the boys that are making their first team debuts or being around the first team, and hopefully for Scott that's something that's just around the corner. We hope that that's what he progresses on to. But as a Northampton fan and a Northampton boy, it's really important for me to see young talent, and I think that's what the programme and the new setup of the development centres and the elite centres it gives us. It means that the academy boys and the youth team boys know that there's always a challenge there, and there's always somebody who wants their place, and that's only going to be positive for the club and the youth that we have in the club for the future.
Mm-hmm. And we're at the start of the academic year. What are your hopes for the season ahead?
On a personal level, to try and get more Scots through the door. I'll be on John's case very early on. We've got some very talented individuals. So from the boys' perspective, it's to see which one of them can try and emulate Scott and be around the youth team and see what opportunities there are in the future. From a playing perspective of the programme, we obviously want to do as well as we can in our leagues. But the ultimate goal with all of our students is, do we improve them as people over their journey? Do they leave us in a better position when they started? So that's always my first target for the academic year, is to see what we get through the door and see how we can help mould and shape their futures. But from a football perspective, there's some really talented players. And then we've got the girls as well. the girls now, we've got good numbers, so we're up to 11, so they'll play in the futsal, EFL Futsal League. So for them, the kind of goal will be around, you know, maximising minutes and opportunities for them to progress in their game. And yeah, it's a strange one, because from a coaching perspective, we obviously want to do well in our leagues, but when we're dealing with young people, the most important thing is how we improve them as young people over their journey with us, whether that be a year, 2 years or 3 years.